Good morning. Today we are going to see the topic about thread creation in exception and multi-threading. So first, thread creation. Um, so what is threads in Java? So threads is nothing but to operate more efficiently by doing multiple things at the same time. So the multiple things can be operated at the same time. It's called as threads. We can perform threads but it performs complicated tasks, so it does not interrupt the background, and it does not interrupt the main program. So generally all the programs which have the one thread, so it is known as the main threads. It is provided by JVM or Java Virtual Machine. So next, the next is threads and types. So threads is nothing but then it's types. So we are opening browsers, Spotify and game in our software. Many softwares are opened in a computer. So example, browser will be taking one task and Spotify will be taking one task, and games which is another task. So these separate tasks which are known as, which further that Spotify is which comes under one task, so that task is comes under the other task use some other task is nothing but it's called as threads. So there are types of threads known as by extending thread class and by implementing runnable interface. So we can create in this two types for creating a threads. These are the two types. So for example, first one is that by extending thread class. So it is nothing but for example, program package practice Java, then class A, it is the thread extends Java is given for the class A, then a class B is created as same as extend thread is given. So class A and class B, two classes are created. First class extends thread and second class B the extends thread. So a class A which has a printout statement as hey hello, and class B which has okay bye. So here comes the main function. So main function, we have created an object, so that is class A for A as A for object, and B also for created an object. And the main is that a start function is compulsory for that, mandatory for by extending thread class. Then it's the output. So it is the example program here. So threads, if we have so all the threads have to be executed. It has the multiple tasks. So this thread has to be executed. So other it is thread 1, and that one right is that thread 2. The two has to be executed at the same time. So here, commonly used constructor is nothing but in thread we are creating a constructor known as thread string name, thread runnable r, and string name. These are the constructors used in the thread class. Here, what are the common methods that are used in the thread class is nothing but public void main and public void start, public void sleep, long milliseconds, public int get priority, public int set priority in priority. That is nothing but public void minus, which performs the action, which performs the action for a thread is known as void run. Then void start. Void start is nothing but it starts the execution. So after the run method action for a thread, it starts the execution of the program is known as void start. Void sleep is nothing but the program is that is kept slept for a stop for any milliseconds that you have given is known as sleep. So it causes the currently executed thread to sleep. That's all. For milliseconds, what you have specified number that we are given. So it is known as void sleep. Public int get priority. Int get priority is nothing but which returns the priority of the thread. Set priority is nothing but we can set the priority for if we have A1, B1. If you are giving a B1 as priority, it will be executed first. It is known as the set priority in priority in the threads. Okay, then. So for example, program a package practice Java. So two class as usual, class A and class B is created. Class A extends thread and class B extends thread. Here the for loop is given and hey hello is executed as well as the class B for loop, and okay bye is executed. Here comes the main function. Main function, we have A object is created, B object is created. So first B1 we are giving the set priority. So B1 will be first executed and A1 will be executed next. The start function is mandatory as well as. This is the example program. The second way of creating thread is that runnable interface. So creating a thread by using implementing the runnable interface is nothing but class A which extends the thread. So thread has to be extended as well as the other class has to be extended at the same time. So we are introducing the runnable interface, implementing runnable. That is implement runnable, thread implements a runnable. Here start function is not included in the runnable, so we are creating thread. So thread which thread has to be created as well as the another class has to be created. So thread which has the start function and the thread we are creating, so that the class is created. So runnable which does not have start functions, we are doing this case. Then runnable interface. Runnable interface is that interface that is to be implemented by a class. So it has only one method named run. So public void run used to perform the action for a thread. It's known as runnable interface. The example program which comes under package practice class A implements a runnable. Here which comes the main function, and main function which has first class A which have been created, that is hey hello have been printed, and here comes the main function. Main function we have created the thread, so thread which has the start function and object have been created. This is the class for the thread. This is the program for runnable implementing runnable interface. Here the next advantages which comes under, it doesn't block the user because the threads are independent. So which is the nothing but threads are independent, so it does not block the users. So it can be performed multiple operations at the same time. Multiple options can be done at the same time is known as thread. So it is independent, so you can perform any operations together, so it saves the time. So multiple operations at the same time it have been performed, so it saves all the time, and they are independent and doesn't affect the other threads. So it does not affect the other threads which are present in the case. So reduces the complexity of the big applications. So big applications which have the complexities, and it reduces those complexities, helps to improve the performance of an application drastically. So which improves the performance, so that is application which have the performance that which helps in the improvement of that application, which is known as threads. These are the main advantages of the threads. Thank you.